Hi everyone, here we are for another quick preview of one of our models available at the moment to buy. We're taking a closer look at the award-winning Dapol N-Gauge Class 56. Bit of a diesel heavyweight for you this afternoon actually, so thanks for joining us. This is a live video, so you can check out more information in the chat as well. If you head over here, pop any questions you've got there and I will answer them throughout the stream as well. We'll be here for about 15 to 20 minutes covering some of the prototype history of the locos, as well as some of the finer details of this model as well. And for those of you who aren't so familiar with the design, the Class 56 is one of the real heavyweights of diesel freight services in the UK. They were built in the mid-1970s, actually started being built in 1976, and construction carried right on through to 1984 as well, with 135 different locomotives built. You can see we've already got some guys in the chat there. We've got Gareth Waite. I'm great, thanks. Really glad to be here with some of our products and showing you those off as well. But to cut back to the history, this was a couple of firsts for the UK freight locomotive market. This was the UK's first real freight diesel locomotive. A lot of the previous designs have been made to haul passenger and freight traffic as well, but these were purely for freight. They were the first Type 5 locomotive, which meant they had over 3,000 horsepower. In fact, these brute locomotives had 3,250 horsepower, so they could haul any size of train that was on the UK network at the time. The other thing that made them really individual was it was the first UK locomotive where a lot of them were built outside the UK. The first 30 of them were actually built in Romania and brought to the UK throughout the late 1970s, whereas the rest of them were built in Doncaster or Crewe at the BR works there. So quite an international design as well, but you can still see the UK heritage there as well. You can see the design, which was started with the Class 47 that went before it, but with the development of the English electric power unit in there, which was a Ruston power unit. So these really had a lot of grunt where it mattered, and they could handle any heavy freight train on the network. So we've got Kevin there as well, morning from Oregon. Well, good afternoon from Hattons. Glad to have you here. And again, Gareth Waite saying there, not an N-Gauge model, but the amount of detail you can get in there is incredible. You are absolutely spot on there, Gareth. This is an award-winning model. This is Dapol's Diesel Model of the Year from 2011 in N-Gauge, and the models have been available ever since in a variety of colour schemes, as you see here. So we've covered a little bit of the history, starting off in the 1980s, coming through into some of the later 1980s colour schemes there, such as the Rail Freight Triple Grey. This one's got the coal sector brandings on it. Coming into privatisation, we start off with the load haul livery in the characteristic black and orange there from the mid-1990s. Heading into the 2000s, you have the English, Welsh and Scottish livery. Familiar with those of you who are North American viewers as the Wisconsin Central livery, the same company that actually formed EWS in the UK. And of course, the locomotives are still in service now with the likes of Colas Rail Freight and GB Rail Freight as well. So they're still out there, they're still performing the duties to this day, because as a real heavyweight locomotive, there's never really been much better than this. There's been other locomotives come through, the Class 66, the Class 58 is there as well. But for huge haulage capacity and sheer grunt in such a size, this is the one to go for, both in real life and in model form as well. And as some of you have mentioned already, the details on these locomotives really do cram it in, but also a number of the variations as well. You will see the difference there. On your left, you will see the BR built version built in the UK, and you'll see the slight difference on the Loco in Triple Grey on the right, which is one of the Romanian built versions as well. Dapol have covered for both variations on these locomotives, including a lot of the very, very fine and minor detail differences there as well. But the model really does pack a punch. It's got a hugely weighty die-cast chassis in there as well. It's got NEM couplings on there, separately fitted buffers, and a lot of interior detailing too, including the fans on the top, which you can just see there as well. And of course, if you want to see some more high definition photos of these, check out the link in the description below, as there are more images there as well. And of course, I always like to have a good look inside the locos as well. And the Dapol loco is one of the easiest to get into. You'll see that really heavy chassis there as well, fully die cast, but you'll also see the digital socket for a 6-pin digital decoder there too. And all that is, the body just clips on and clips off as per so. So really easy to take apart and put together for digital fitting as well. And again, it looks absolutely fantastic in that initial BR blue as carried by the logo 1970s as well. So these locos start off at £113.80, and the 4 liveries you see here, split throughout the lifetime of the class, are available to order right now on our website as well. And if you're an Engage modeler who's a fan of the diesel scene, there's a Class 56 for you, whether it's right at the start of the lives in the 1970s, straight through into the 2000s era, US, every livery in between there as well, including some really iconic colour schemes. And if you're a fan of the more modern operators, Dapol have previously released a colourless rail freight livery on these that comes up from time to time on our pre-owned department as well. So these are available. And as you said there, Kevin, it really is a great price for this. You've got fully working lighting on there too. We've already mentioned that die-cast chassis as well. But Dapol's locomotives are just really good for the customization and the maintenance as well. We've already covered the inside of the Class 56 there, where it's easy to just pull the body off and access that decoder socket. But also, if you're looking at maintaining any of the parts too, you can just remove the bogies as well to access the gear train. And that's great for making sure it's greased and oiled absolutely correctly to make sure it's perfectly running as well. But at the same time, these come fully lubricated out of the box as well, so you'll get quite a few years of use for them. And speaking of use, there is so much you can use them for as well. The heavy freight locomotives, and if there's one thing that's available in Engage, it is modern era wagons. We've just seen the Silver Bullets come through from Dapol, the bogie tankers there. We've got the Revolution Trains VEA as well, which is used for transporting munitions and other army duties as well. There's HAA coal hoppers available from Pico. There's various different wagons out there. Dapol have got container wagons as well. So it is one of the most exciting eras to model in Engage. And of course, with it being a smaller scale as well, you can get a little bit more bang for your buck, really, and get more in the space there. So you really can have a long break of those intermodal wagons or whatever freight train takes your fancy, being hauled by one of these really powerful and really dynamic, to be honest, freight locomotives, because the haulage capacity of these matches the real life locomotives. They've got a really powerful 5-pole motor in there, and with that fully die-cast chassis too, they can pull down the Engage equivalent of a house, to be honest, guys. There is so much in there that you can really do with these. But with the level of detail on there too, the fully working lighting, the separately fitted handrails, you can just about see that it does have a cab interior there as well on this BR Blue model. So some really great options there if you want a highly detailed model for your layout. I'm just taking a look again at the chat. So thanks again, Gareth and Kevin, for joining us today. If you are watching now, we are live and we'll be live for the next few minutes or so. So do get your comments in the chat as well, and I'll be happy to answer them live on air. If you're watching a little bit later on, you can put your comments in the comments section or message them to our guys and girls on the help desk team, and we'll be happy to answer any questions there as well. So James Petts has one of these already. Let me know which one you've got, James. It might be one of these 4 here or one of the other liveries that has been available over the years as well. And Kevin says, N-scale scuff here in the USA is in the main way lower quality and less detailed than Dapol's, and prices are higher. So these are really cool. And that's a good thing about the Engage market in the UK as well, is even though it is half the size thereabouts of 00, you're not getting half the quality. You are still getting all the effects you're used to in the larger scales. You've got your fully working lights, separately fitted handrails and windscreen wipers there as well. Some really high definition molded detail on these locos too. Great haulage capacity, super quiet running too, fully digital capable with a 6-pin decoder socket. And as we showed there early on, really easy to get into as well. So Artsweb has asked us, can we see the model running now? It's not something I've got here at the moment. It's a little bit of track, unfortunately. But do keep an eye on our YouTube page, as we do a lot of videos of products running there as well. So I can't get one running for you right here, right now, but I really would recommend getting one to take a closer look at running. Just with that super quiet setup, the fully working lighting in there as well, you won't fail to be impressed by these. So great to have some guys there. Thanks for replying, James. You've got the Rail Freight Red Stripe now. That's a really nice livery that we don't have available at the moment, coming from the mid-1980s there. But we do have a livery for every decade of the class. You've got 1980s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, and 2000s as well. So these are still operation as well in real life. So the Colas Rail Freight livery is one that Dapol have produced before, but for most of the life, we can offer you a model at the moment. And the 4 that you see here are available to order right now as well. You check the link in the description. So James says, I have yet to DCC fit and will need to add a stay alive too. Now, stay alive's always recommended with an N-gauge, but if you put a normal 6-pin decoder such as our own or Dapol's Imperium in this, you will find that because every single wheel underneath has got a pickup on it, that even over most N-gauge points, you'll find that these are a smooth and capable runner and won't cut out too much. So although it's always beneficial to put a stay alive in, it's by no means a necessity for these particular locomotives. And if you did want to pick up a decoder for one, we have them on our website as well, so you can check out that link, order a decoder. And as we said, a really easy fit, just taking the body off there, putting a decoder in. It's only a couple of minutes to get one of these going on your digital layout. And if that's not enough, a lot of the models are available pre-digital fitted as well, so you can already get them good to go for your digital railway. Okay, I'll just take another quick look at those comments. I'll try and resist looking at the 56s though. So I like the Rail Freight coal sector livery. Now, this is the one that really stands out for me as well, guys. This is my sort of era, that 80s and early 90s, with this Rail Freight triple grey with the independent branding for the different companies and sectors. You have the coal sector, the petroleum sector as well, the metal sector, and these locomotives hauling a huge rake of merry-go-round coal wagons around East Midlands, around Scotland as well. They really would have been seen everywhere apart from the southwest of England in those days, hauling heavy coal trains and a lot of other duties as well. But that's by no means the only thing that these class worked. A lot of them were transferred over to the civil engineers duties for use on track maintenance in the 1990s. The EWS versions were made across all their duties, although still really concentrated on that coal traffic. They did work on cement trains as well and various other duties across the UK. The BR Blue models originally, again, mainly focused on coal, but they really did find a way onto any freight duty, especially when being tested in the UK and in Romania as well. If you're an international modeler, there's an excuse to get a 56 on your layout as well. So all across the UK for coming up to, well, over 40 years now, really, they really have had an impact on the UK freight scene. So let's have a look at those chats again. So thanks again for being here, guys. Great to see some fantastic questions and comments coming through. I'll just take a closer look. So Kevin has said 6-pin is so easy to fit. It really is. It's a case of pulling out the decoder and pulling out the blanking plate and putting in the decoder. It's 2 minutes of a job on these, especially with no screws to take the body off. Popping the body off, in goes the decoder, body back on, straight back on your layout, performing and pulling trains exactly as it should. So James says the models are lovely and excellent taste in eras. Thank you very much. I think, to be honest, my favourite eras across model railways starts with the first train and ends with the trains they're building today, really. But everyone's got to have a little bit of an area of their own, really. So let's have a look at what else we've got. Ono Mulder says, hi, Dave. Hi, Ono. Great to see you. And, of course, great to see everyone else here as well. Faversham International says the Class 56 looks lovely. Do we know when the Hornby Class 373 will be in stock? The latest Beatles model will be with us around the end of May, we're expecting on that one. And, of course, all the info is available on our website for that as well. So Space Coaster said, in terms of running, is it as smooth and quiet as the N-Gauge 68 from Dapol? Now, that really is something. It's an absolutely fantastic model with a new iron core motor in there, but the same heavy die-cast chassis and operating light in there too. This really does match it for running quality as well. As we mentioned previously there, and James picked up on, you have got pickups on all 12 wheels there as well. So you've got the smooth running, you've got the quiet running, you've got a 5-pole motor combining with that die-cast chassis to really make them powerful. You've got the NEM couplings to make sure they can haul anything you like around your layout as well there. So they really are up there with some of the highest quality of the Dapol N-Gauge locos. and Engage locos all around, to be quite honest with you as well. So let's have a look. Who else we have? Arno Mulder says, awesome models. I totally agree there, really is. Now, Kevin has said, still no word on the Dapol Imperium decoders. Now, we are expecting some stock of those back in soon, and they are a good decoder to fit to these particular locomotives. But in the meantime, we do offer our own 6-pin decoder as well, which is a perfect fit for these locos, and will operate on a majority of digital systems as well. And of course, we do sell these pre-digital fitted as well. They do come with a gauge master decoder already fitted from the factory. So if you'd like one with a decoder already in, they are available. And just to remind you again, all 4 of these models and more are available right now on our website by clicking that link in the description, and they're available from £113.88 each. And there's different variations in there of livery, of era, and of moulding detail as well. So thanks a lot for keeping the chat going as well, guys. Really glad to see you all here. I'll be here for a few more minutes yet. As Space Ghost says, the 68 was amazing and this sounds just as good. It really is. Dapol's got a great feel for Engage diesels at the moment. With these, with the Class 50 as well that's come out recently. The HST, which very recently there was new variations announced of as well in East Midlands trains and First Great Western livery. It's a great time for modern image modelers in Engage at the moment. And this is just one side of it. But this really is worth a closer look as well. As you've seen throughout the videos, the various levels of detailing. One thing I didn't mention on the load hole version is you can just about see the etched nameplates there, which for Engage are absolutely some of the finest you'll see anywhere as well, with the Ferrybridge Power Station name there, really harking back to that coal history of what is on these models. So there you go, good one there, James, with the engaging. Yes, it really is an engaging model to look at there. One of the finer ones we have, I would say. So, but this is something to take a closer look at. If you've got an Engage modern image depot in a smaller space, or you've got a nice bit of space to play with and you want a 1970s loco that's hauling maybe 30 or 40 wagons behind it as well, we do have a lot of the freight stock available for these particular items at the moment, whatever the varied duties they have worked on over the years. So if you check out our website, not only for more information on the Class 56s, but the various vehicles that they haul as well, we can get you started with a full train for these in any of the eras and any of the liveries that they cover. So really hope we've tempted you with something there, guys. And of course, if you want to find out any more details on these, or if there's something that I've not covered in today's stream, please do leave a bit of info in the comments below. Please do message our guys and girls on the help desk as well. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have on these. And check out our website too, because we've got some really nice high definition images on not only these, but also the variations that have been and gone in the past, such as the Rail Freight Red Stripe mentioned earlier in the stream. So I've just got one last time to have a quick look through the chat. Again, thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. So let's have a look. I need a Dapol Engage 50 and now one of these 56s. Well, as said, these are available. There's still some more coming through on our pre-owned department every now and then in other liveries too, but really would recommend these for a closer look. And hopefully I've given you a bit of an insight to these today as well. So Kevin Waters has said, gotta go, lads, have a good one. And I'm afraid I've got to go as well. So hope you've enjoyed this close-up of the Class 56s. If you fancy one of these video sessions, we are offering a V-Commerce Vtail service now, which you can book one-on-one sessions with either myself or Jack or one of our other members of staff as well to talk about any item we have in our range available to order now, not just these or the items you see behind me. We can give you up-close and personal details. We can answer any questions you have, and you can book on those one-on-one sessions absolutely free on our website now if you check out that link in the description. Otherwise, we'll be here on Facebook as ever. We'll be here on YouTube as ever, showing you more and more of the models we have like this. And it's been absolutely fantastic to see you here, guys. Thank you for keeping the chat so active. Really hope you've liked the models just as much as I have. All of them are available now. And it just remains for me to say goodbye and see you next time.